ever stop and think about how we can possibly understand the economy? I mean, it spans everything from, the price of your morning coffee right up to these huge global financial shifts. Feels vast, right?
It absolutely does. It can seem overwhelming, but economics at its core is really about choices. It's the study of how we people, businesses, governments make decisions when resources are limited, but our wants seem, well, unlimited.
Scarcity, that's the key word.
Exactly. Scarcity. Every single choice involves a trade-off because of it. That fundamental reality is what shapes everything.
So to kind of get a grip on this, economists use these two lenses, you could say. And our mission here in this deep dive is to unpack how microeconomics and macroeconomics, which might seem separate, actually work together. They give us the full picture.
Precisely. Let's start with the first lens, microeconomics. Think micro as in small scale. It zooms right in on the behavior of individual players.
So like me deciding what to buy, or my family's budget, or maybe a local shop.
Yes, exactly that. You, your household, a single business, even a specific market, like, say, the market for smartphones. It helps us understand why individuals and firms make the choices they do.
And one of the biggest concepts there, something we see constantly, is supply and demand, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely fundamental. It's this constant dance. Demand is, how much people want something at various prices generally, less when it's expensive.
Right. And supply is the other side, how much producers are willing to sell. Higher prices usually mean they want to supply more.
And where those two meet, that's the magic point, the equilibrium price. It's where the quantity demanded matches the quantity supplied. Think about avocado prices.
Ah, yes, the avocado example. They go up, they go down.
Exactly. That fluctuation is the market finding that balance between what shoppers are willing to pay and what growers are willing to bring to market. It's a constant negotiation.
And micro also brings up this idea of opportunity cost, which I find fascinating. Every choice means not choosing something else.
That's a crucial point. It's the hidden cost. If you spend an hour studying...
Which hopefully people do.
Hopefully. The cost isn't just time. It's the value of the next best thing you gave up. Maybe that's an hour working or relaxing or exercising. That foregone alternative is the opportunity cost.
Micro also looks at how firms compete, right? Like lots of restaurants versus just a few airlines.
Yes, different market structures. Monopolistic competition, oligopoly. Those describe the competitive landscape. And importantly, micro also flags market failures.
Situations where the market doesn't get it right on its own?
Sort of, yeah. Where resources aren't allocated efficiently from society's viewpoint. Think pollution from a factory. That's a cost, a negative externality that others bear.
Or things like streetlights. Hard for a private company to provide those profitably because you can't easily charge everyone who benefits.
Precisely. Those are public goods, often needing government provision. Okay, so that's the micro view. Ready to zoom out.
Let's do it. To the big picture, macroeconomics.
Right. Macro takes that top-down perspective, looking at the economy as a whole, aggregate performance.
And this is where we get those terms we hear all the time in the news. GDP, for instance. Gross domestic product.
The big one. It's the main measure of a country's total economic output, its overall economic health, essentially.
But it's not perfect, is it? It measures the size of the pie, but not necessarily how it's sliced or, the environmental cost of making it.
That's a very important caveat. GDP is a vital snapshot, but it doesn't capture distribution, environmental degradation, or unpaid work. Then you have inflation.
Which isn't just prices going up, but your money actually buying less over time. Your purchasing power decreases.
Exactly. And unemployment, the percentage of the workforce actively looking for jobs but unable to find them. It's not just a statistic. It represents real people and untapped potential.
And to manage these big macro trends, governments and central banks have tools.
They do. Fiscal policy is one that's the government's decisions on spending and taxation. They can spend more or tax less to stimulate the economy, or do the opposite to cool it down.
And the other big tool?
Monetary policy. This is usually handled by the central bank, like the Federal Reserve in the U.S. They manage the money supply and influence interest rates.
So lowering interest rates makes borrowing cheaper, maybe encourages businesses to invest and people to buy homes or cars.
That's the general idea, yes. Trying to influence overall economic activity.
Okay, so we have micro, the individual trees, the specific choices, and macro, the entire forest, the overall trends. But they're not separate worlds, are they?
Not at all. They are incredibly intertwined. Two sides of the same coin, really. The connection is fundamental.
How so?
Well, think about it. Macroeconomic outcomes are essentially the result, the sum of countless microeconomic decisions.
Okay, give me an example.
Inflation, that's a macro issue, right? But what drives it? It's driven by the pricing decisions made by millions of individual firms. That's micro behavior adding up.
Ah, I see. And GDP, that huge macro number.
It's simply the total value of goods and services produced by all the individual firms and workers in the economy. Again, micro adding up to macro. A change in tax policy macro directly hits household budgets and spending decisions micro.
So you really can't understand the big picture without knowing what's happening at the individual level and vice versa.
You've got it. They are complementary perspectives. You need both for a holistic view.
So wrapping this up, understanding both micro and macro isn't just some academic exercise. It's actually essential for you, for everyone, to make sense of the world.
Definitely. From your own financial decisions, should I buy this, should I invest here, to understanding those big global trends shaping jobs, prices, everything.
It helps you decode the news, understand policy debates.
And maybe the final thought is this. Economics, through both these lenses, is ultimately about human behavior. It's about how we, individually and collectively, try to improve our well-being in a world where we can't have everything. It makes you think about the why behind the choices.